Welcome back to the 2026 UNConference. I'm Eliud Custodio with Turn One Studio, and I have the pleasure of sitting with Prana and Ling from Sound Artists. Guys, welcome.
Thanks for having us.
From what I understand, I saw you on the agenda. You're part of the program today. What are you bringing us?
So we're really focusing on bringing this element of wellness.
Okay.
Being in a corporate environment can be stressful. It can be very focused on outcomes, but not necessarily on what people's experience is.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're kind of using sound and interactive music experiences to help people ground, to feel more connected to themselves, to feel more connected to the community that they're in. And there's so many avenues where sound, music, group music making can really support people in that process.
Do you think people underestimate the power of music and sound and wellness?
I don't know if it's like an underestimation as much as it is like an awareness. Like I feel like it's just something where it's like, have you ever heard like your new favorite song? You're like, wow, I didn't know I needed that. You know?
Yeah.
I'm just like a higher like, it's something that is like so I think natural for us to be wanting a more like conscious, mindful life. But I think it just comes with, I know, even knowing what it is and like being like connected with something as simple as your breath. Like we're born doing that.
Yeah.
But like, I guess we're not like thinking about it too often. But when there's sort of like this metacognition, we like sort of are experiencing life more observationally and just like in a sort of just like always action forward
Yeah.
away. I feel like that's when a lot of the mindfulness work really comes into play and
Interesting.
can transform lives.
I know when you see infants and toddlers and they hear music, they just instinctively
Just
move,
start
right?
rolling, yeah.
What happens as we get older? It seems almost like we have to consciously get into it.
From the work that I do, it's most of the time as simple as giving people the permission back
Okay.
There's like
to feel music in a meaningful way, to create music in a meaningful way. We don't necessarily live in a society or an environment where everyone's just playing on drums all of the time or
Okay.
singing in groups all of the time. But if you actually create or facilitate the environment for people to do that, people immediately tap into their sense of rhythm, their sense of musicianship. And I've witnessed that firsthand for like a decade of doing this work. And it's really profound. And that's the thing is it's like the most profound things are often the most simple. So obviously we're breathing all of the time, but when we connect to our breath and really bring awareness to our breath, it can become something that can change your entire life, your entire perception of what's going on. And so music's the same thing. We live in a society where we're always like listening to our favorite artist and going and paying all this money for a concert, when the most profound experience happen when we actually, like I said, give people that permission or that opportunity to create music themselves,
to express.
Interesting.
to express, or
Authentically.
to I guess like frame it differently and say, if we're really focusing on how this music can impact us more deeply or have like a holistic or meditative effect, all of a sudden the music can really become something really powerful and really useful, productive, like a tool that can actually help shape people's lives in a more meaningful way.
So it's effective basically because it's elemental.
100%. Yeah.
So when your program starts shortly, as audience members here, as attendees of the UNConference, what would you recommend we do or think in order to maximize this experience? How do we let go? How do we give ourselves permission? Am I getting ahead of the presentation?
I would say like it's kind of like it's not like not thinking, but just more of like having a clearer attention
Okay.
and focus. Even if it's just like either like counting to yourself or I guess like
What's an example of an intention?
I would say like having a focus,
Okay.
having sort of like a clear, almost like, let's say I told you to like focus your gaze down to like the floor, like just how do you count up to forward to
Okay.
yourself, or like even closing your eyes and doing like a little visualization of
To help keep out distraction.
yeah.
Mm.
But also, there's nothing wrong with distractions. The mind is very like I feel like you're thinking of a million things
Right.
all the time.
So I guess to a certain degree, you have to accept that.
There's a level of acceptance
Okay.
there for sure, a level of safety and trust with yourself to understand that like it's okay to like think on some of the such a complicated programming in our brains and from our conditioning from you were young.
We
and our
overthink, don't we?
environment. I would say I definitely did.
Yeah,
That's kind of how
I'm
I
guilty
got
of that.
into this practice in the first place, Like I feel like through like say attention, through having a main focus, we're really able to sort of redirect our trains of thought and calm our mind as well.
It can start with just giving an invitation to the audience, to the people we're sharing with.
Okay.
Like, let's take a moment to breathe intentionally and feeling that inhale and feeling that exhale, knowing that you can have thoughts and they can be wandering and that's okay. You're not doing it wrong.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, it's actually just by welcoming that stream of thought and allowing it to move. And, oftentimes in meditation, we describe it as, the sky isn't affected by the clouds, right?
Okay.
So your mind is the sky, and there's clouds going by, and there's birds going by, and there's a rainstorm, and there's this and there's that. But if we remember that we can zoom out and just allow that weather to pass,
Let the cloud pass. It doesn't have to be.
yeah, we're able to like be the conscious observer of our own minds.
Yeah.
And
Well, you have a room full of business professionals. We're all going to be overthinking everything and missing
sure.
this.
So having that focus and having that clear intention, a reminder, right? But it's a like being like with your body, being
Okay.
able like physiologically like the somatic practice of breathing and just like being able to like even feel your belly rise and fall, being able to have your hand on your chest, remind yourself that like it's okay to be present
Yeah.
here and of doing that with like the collective, is such a powerful
That's an important message.
yeah.
That's
And I think like the thing that we haven't even spoken to yet is that we're going to be performing music. So I'm going to be performing on this new musical instrument called the Handpan, which is what our school focuses on. It's a
Okay.
modern melodic percussion instrument that's extremely beautiful and meditative. Ling has an incredible voice and is an incredible violin player. And so we'll also really be using the music and the musical performance, which we're actually going to be singing two different mantras, which we'll talk about later, as a way to really be something that can bring us out of our thinking mind, because there's so much to feel in the music, listen for in the music, experience in the words and the melody and the textures of the sound that that's also a really strong element too. It's just like how to make it easy for a room full of business people to actually maybe meditate a little bit and relax without realizing it, is providing a sonic environment that's like really experiential and really like satisfying and interesting and engaging. So I think that's the centerpiece of it.
love it.
And it's kind of being sandwiched by remembering to do something simple like connect to your breath,
Yeah.
relax your mind,
Love it.
feel your body.
I think we're in for a treat. Another reason to attend the UNConference.
Absolutely.
Guys, I'm excited.
Yeah, we're
Thank
so
you very
excited
much.
too.
Energy is everything. We are vibrational beings and we're here to serve in that way. So pretty.
I love that. Yeah.
Thanks.